everyone, I'm Jody of Lambent Crochet, and for this tutorial I'll be using Loops and Threads Cozy Wool. It is a category 6 super bulky weight yarn, and I'll be pairing it with its corresponding crochet hook, which is an M size 10mm hook. If you are relatively new to crochet, I do recommend that you work with a yarn no lighter than a category 4 medium weight, as it becomes increasingly difficult to see where your stitches are and know where to insert your hook. Okay, so the way I like to make my magic ring is by taking the tail of the yarn and I lay it over top of my 4 fingers like this. Then I use my thumb and I hold the yarn in place around my ring finger and pinky finger. Then I grab the working end of the yarn and I wrap it around my index and middle finger, and I have the yarn form an X. So when I come all the way around, I'm going to take the working yarn and just place it underneath my thumb and hold it in place with the tail end, just like that. And then now I'm going to turn my hand over. And you're going to see that the yarn now makes 2 parallel lines. It's very important that there aren't any crisscrosses when you flip your hand over. Then grab your crochet hook and you're going to go underneath the first strand of yarn and over top of the second. Now hook the second strand of yarn, pulling it underneath the first strand. Now twist your hook towards you and slightly pull up. So now the yarn is going to wrap around the hook like that. Now you're going to come over to the working yarn, which is the second strand of yarn. And you're going to wrap it around your hook. And then you're going to pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. And now you've just made the very first chain of the starting chain for your magic ring. So now that you've done that, your magic ring is secure and you can remove your fingers. And this is what it's going to look like. So there's the tail of the yarn here, and here's your magic ring, and then the first chain of your starting chain. Now you can do a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, etc. into the magic ring. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do it with a double crochet. So since we already have 1 chain for our starting chain, I'm going to chain up 2 more to give us the right height for a double crochet. So there is 1, now 2, and 3. I'm not going to count this as the very first stitch. Generally 12 stitches inside the magic ring is pretty standard. Obviously every pattern is different, but I have come across 12 stitches being in the ring more often than not. So I'm just going to take the tail and I'm going to take it out of the loop, so now there aren't any twists. Now, if you find your loop is very, very tight and hard to work in, you can easily pull on the side of the ring. So it's going to be the side opposite to the tail, and you can make it a little bit bigger, but be careful not to pull it all the way out because you're going to have to redo your magic ring if you pull the tail through the first chain of the starting chain. So let's begin with the double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over and we're going to go around the tail as well as the ring. So I like to hold both of those strands with my thumb and middle finger, and I'm going to insert my hook into the ring, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there is my first double crochet of the 12 double crochets I'm going to be doing inside my magic ring. So I'll show you again. Yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, make sure you're going underneath both strands, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. So there's 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and just finish up the remaining double crochets to get my total of 12. And then I'm going to come back and show you how to tighten up. Now while you're doing your stitches in the ring, be sure that you never let go of that tail. You want to make sure there's always some sticking out of your work. So if you find that your tail is getting too short, give it a slight pull to give yourself a little bit more of a tail to hold on to. Okay, so I have now completed my 12 double crochets, and this is what my work looks like. Now to tighten up and join your magic ring, you're going to take that little tail and you're going to pull. So pull it all the way until the hole closes in the center. Get a nice tug. And that's what it will look like when you pull it nice and tight. And now I'm going to close my ring by making a slip stitch in the very first double crochet. So I'm not counting the starting chain as my first double crochet. So it's going to be this stitch right here that I'm going to be making the slip stitch in. So I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch, so underneath the 2 loops of the stitch. Grab my working yarn and pull up a loop, and then pull through the loop on my hook. And that's how I like to make my magic ring. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if so, please give me a like and share some love in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell button so you'll always be notified when I have a new video uploaded. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, so pop on over, give me a like and a follow, and you can tag me in all of your crochet related posts where you learned a new technique or pattern from watching these tutorials. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you real soon.